let's talk a little for me and Brandon's sake. Let's talk a little Snyder Cut tonight.
Yay!
Yeah.
we haven't done that
Brandon's
with
a lot
these
more
guys
happy
yet.
and smiley. Yeah. Al always makes fun of Brandon for CAPECAST. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
DC
How about
logo.
some blue?
Yeah,
Let's change that monitor too.
All right, hang on.
That
Give me one second.
that'll be our.
Sorry, I feel like Brandon bossing around Melissa.
Our scrubbing reference point when Britt's hue lights changed in his frame. We're talking DC.
Britt, I'm gonna need you to move it to like black and maybe shades of gray, just for me. Okay.
Okay.
You don't like hints of yellow, Brandon?
And maybe some yellow. That's fine.
Desaturate it a little bit, just for Zach's sake. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So we are 11 days away? Let me check my countdown real quick here that I've got on my phone, because who doesn't? We're 10 days, 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 38 seconds away from Zack Snyder's Justice League Day. And over the last week, we've been getting some character teases in the form of little mini trailers, some animated GIFs, new character posters, all kinds of stuff. And we wanted to kind of jump on here and talk about that, talk about the chapter title reveals, that kind of stuff. So Brandon, where do you want to start? Do we want to start with the chapter?
Yeah, I mean, we can just go through. We'll just go through like the chapter reveal, the names. I guess we can start with that. That's something we can quickly kind of get through. And if you have any comments about what you think they could pertain to, sound off. So, all right. So yeah, the first chapter, this was actually revealed in an interview on that IGN FanFest thing, is Don't Count on It, Batman. So Ryan and I know what this means, but you guys, what do you think it means?
Chris,
Britt, take it away.
I'm looking at you. Nothing.
Got any ideas?
Let us tell you what it means.
Yeah, I'd love you guys to learn me something.
This means multiple things, because they always do with Snyder stuff. But we think this line is from Arthur to Bruce when he's recruiting, trying to, he's looking for the Aquaman.
It sounds like recruiting the new members of the league is not going to be as easy as anticipated or hoped for Bruce. Oh, there he is. Britt's like, got it.
There we go. I got it. Took a minute, but
and then we got a hater. Tyler's hating already in the chat. Oh, Tyler.
Jeez.
Get out. Just kidding. You can stick around. It's fine.
Tyler has left the stream.
But yeah, so that's the first one. And, we know from Fabian Wagner that the movie starts in that like Iceland or whatever the section of the movie is, where he's, Bruce is on horseback looking for Arthur.
Got an awesome coat on.
Dude.
Right.
Yep.
Got the Tauntaun coat on.
I mean, all of Bruce's wardrobe.
You know it.
It's great.
Okay. Part 2. The Age of Heroes. So we assume this is going to be like part of the kind of history lesson. For those that don't know what that is, that's just like...
Diana thought it was gone.
Thought what was gone?
The Age of Heroes.
The Age of Heroes? Yeah. I like that call. That's a good little call back there.
Look at you. Look at it.
Yeah, you're catching up, man.
I think we really got Chris kind of drinking the Kool-Aid right now.
I know, it feels like it.
I mean, you guys always say that I'm like Mr. Marvel, but I've said that like BVS was one of my favorite movies, maybe my favorite comic book movie. I've been pretty excited for this. I loved Watchmen. Sure, cool. You guys got me on the Kool-Aid, but I feel like I've been pretty excited and hyped for a while. Just not to your level.
I'll take it however I can get it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. I love it.
We'll take it.
Not hating, Chris.
So
keep drinking it.
This is where we will see Euxus, otherwise known as Dark Side Light. You watch the theatrical cut. This sequence was cut down like very, to a minimal, and it's featured Steppenwolf instead of Euxus.
It's supposed to be.
Can we pause really quick? I want to give thoughts just because I don't know them, on how he feels about BVS, theatrical, Justice League, and anticipation for this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So here's the thing. I actually liked Zack Snyder stuff. So when it first came out, Superman and all that, I know there's a lot of people that didn't like the whole, like, he killed Zod, spoilers, whatever, many years ago. But I like that DC took a different approach than Marvel. So Marvel started with this whole grounded, and by the time we started seeing Superman and things like that, Marvel had already started to get into this more, I don't know, crazy outlook, right? We got into Guardians and things like that. So they started towards the comedy aspect. So I like that DC decided to do something different. And they started to say, hey, we can't, and there's aspects to this, but we can't necessarily compete with the exact same thing that they're doing. So I want to do it different. And, at this point, we've already seen Nolan's Batman do very well in a grounded aspect. So let's try to do that with these characters. Make it to be like they could exist in this world. And I like that. I like that you had Superman that came out that way. You had Batman versus Superman, which I thought was awesome, with a kind of look back of Bruce Wayne's vision, like view of when Zod and Superman were fighting. I thought that was awesome and a really cool way to cross the movies over. I had a lot of the same issues that a lot of other people had with just like the whole, your mom's name is Martha, my mom's name is Martha. Hey, okay, well, let's be friends type thing. But I mean, these are things that
that's a very surface level thing to say. But go ahead.
I agree. So, but overall, like I liked the universe they were building. I love the fact that they were doing exactly what I say I like about Marvel, where they were taking screenshots essentially from comic pages, panels, and things like that. When you look at Batman versus Superman, I really enjoyed that part of it.
Sure.
There's definitely some pieces that I maybe didn't like in each movie, but I think the overall style of those two movies I thought were done pretty well. When they got to Justice League, as we know, this is kind of where, well, I guess we had Wonder Woman first, right? Wonder Woman, not necessarily Zack Snyder, but in the universe. I think they did pretty well with Wonder Woman's story there. It's a harder comic to bring people into and a harder movie to bring people into because of just kind of her story and all of her stuff, right? So, like, I think they did a pretty good job of that. It did feel a little less Snydery, like real world, but I get that you're starting to get into fantastical with Wonder Woman and the Amazon. So then when you got into Justice League, I know that a lot of this just came from switching directors, right? They had the same issue with Suicide Squad and some other stuff where you felt like you had two movies put together.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to Zack Snyder's cut to see if he got to finish his vision. And I know this isn't his full vision, right? Like, he had more movies and all that planned. But I'm
Stop
hoping
with the Marvel
that we get
stuff,
to,
man. Jeez.
I'm hoping we get to see more to it, because the thing that I did not like about some of the other stuff in Batman versus Superman and Justice League was there was also a lot of these flashbacks that Batman was having and things like that where it made no sense, but I get it. They're in the reverse side of what Marvel was doing. Marvel had essentially, multiple years to set up the Avengers, 10 years to set up Thanos in this whole Infinity War. And you're on the DC side going, and this is what their executives are saying, is like, how do we get there quicker? Like, how can we do this in 1 year and get them together? And so the way they looked at it is, okay, we need to get them together quick, and then we need to start hinting at what does our next 5 years look like. And
we had to come together right now.
Yeah.
So
they had to play the song, get together, and do it.
I will say Zach, he wasn't intending to necessarily set up an entire set up the Marvel version of DC. Like, he from the get-go, he had a fixed like storyline that he wanted to tell, a 5-movie arc. And if he,
but he also kind of played ball and he set up things that they could kind of take on, what other movies, directors could take it, do their own spin, that kind of thing.
Right. And I think with BVS, like you were talking about, a lot of they did have some flashbacks, some flash forwards with the nightmare stuff that I think people.
Yes, because I remember Britt talking to you. I think it was the day after BVS, and we were like, "Yeah, that nightmare thing out of context is kind of jarring, but think about how it's going to make sense in the next film." And they never did anything with it.
It is now.
But it is now, exactly. But that's what we're like. But it's going to make, when you go back and watch BVS after watching Justice League, and they have more of the nightmare stuff, it's going to make so much more sense. It's going to be really cool. Be like, oh, look how much they were setting up, and we didn't know at the time what this all meant. But
I just really
remember that distinctly. I was going on a walk with my dog, and I was talking to you, Britt, and I was like, yes, you're right. Yeah, but you weren't right. But now you're right again. So it all comes back.
That's probably the thing that I'm most excited for is I feel like this is a real chance for people to, and the fact that it's, obviously we want to see it in theaters, and I hope it gets an IMAX release, but like the fact that it's a home release, like it's easily accessible, like I think it's cool if people are able to jump into it and like start drinking the Kool-Aid, and like requires less of a commitment to like get up and go to a movie theater. If we were going to see any buy-in for future material, I feel like this is the easiest way to develop word of mouth around something like that.
Plus, think about like when BVS came out and everybody trashed it just to trash it, and then people didn't go and see it, but they formed opinions on it. Where now it's like you really have way less of an excuse not to see it and make your own opinion. So that'll be cool, and I'm excited for that.
I got to address
this derailed you, Brandon.
David is actually wrong here, and I know David. So people that want to be like I'm bullying somebody in the chat, I know him. Okay, So this actually does play into the narrative of the film, because Bruce takes this as a warning that Superman needs to be dealt with. Essentially, he sees it as because Flash says you're right about him, you're always right, fear him, and so that's just the ammo that Bruce needs to be like, yes, I'm taking this guy down. So there we go.
It's that combined with Lex manipulating him throughout the movie that drives him to actually, obviously, and then you've got all the Martha stuff at the end, but that's what ultimately drive. I feel like they needed to attack him from multiple angles to convince a guy who is like this brilliant, and obviously he's emotionally scarred. He's Batman, but
and they had already set up that he's the Batman that's seen a lot at this
the
point.
Robin
he's
suit
a different,
and
yeah.
Well, and that's
I'm sorry I derailed you, Brandon.
Wayne Manor has been burnt down to the ground, theoretically by Joker. Maybe he's going through some stuff. The rules have changed. The rules have changed. Alfred says it himself. We say this all the time. We're like
20 years in Gotham, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly. How many good guys left? How many stayed that way?
That's right.
I don't know.
Right.
Not a lot.
That's a good one, Brandon. You should write that one down.
Well, and so I think that's like the problems. I mean, the problems I have with the series are a lot of that. The fact that like there's so much story there. And I was, at the time, again, we are getting the Snyder Cut, but at the time, my whole problem, I was always like, well, we'll know later. And so I had to continue to give DC this grace of, they're in reverse of what Marvel's doing. So 2 movies from now, we're going to get that whole Robin story. We're going to get this, what are these flashbacks that, the Flash is doing, whether that's Flashpoint or whatever, right? Like there's all these things that we were seeing. And I think when me and Brandon talked, about a lot of this, that's what I kept running into, is like, I have problems with this movie, but I think it's pretty good. And I think that it'll get better with time as we add to this storyline and we keep adding these Lego pieces to give me the full picture.
It's a
now,
movie
Britt,
that
you also have not seen the Ultimate Edition, correct?
What?
Is that what we discovered last week?
I actually went back and I did see the Ultimate Edition. Like, I was making sure, but I did see the Ultimate Edition. We're good.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Good deal.
Okay.
Whew. Thought we'd have to kick you off here.
I wasn't sure,
okay,
but
okay.
I did see that one.
All right, so we kind of got
Chapter
Britt's
2.
rundown of where we were at chapter 2, but now we're going to move on to
the
chapter 3.
next one can't take a half hour, Brandon.
Yeah. Part 3, beloved mother, beloved son. Could be multiple things here. We could be talking about
Obviously got Mother Box.
Martha and Clark, as well as Cyborg, as Victor and his mom, and that probably go into how, I guess probably the relationship between Victor, his dad, his mom. His dad's always working. Mother's supporting him at the football game. They end up getting a car wreck. That kind of thing.
That's a big
on
part of
Flash?
this. Yeah,
Barry's
that's a big
mom
part of
being
this.
killed.
That is true too. Yeah, good point.
Maybe it's just all of them. We're just going to
Could
go
be.
through
I
how
mean,
did
they
your
all
mom
got
die?
they all
All the
got
mother boxes.
parent issues.
Yeah.
They're just standing in a circle. How'd your mom die? Oh yeah. we had this going on.
Exactly.
On the league or like a support group or something for that.
Yeah, Diana doesn't know her dad.
and I mean talking about
Arthur.
How like stuff that could really hook people to want more of this storyline. It's been, it's widely reported that Cyborg stuff it essentially just got ripped out of the movie entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, Zack himself says that he's the heart of the movie. I feel like he's a character, and just from the stuff we've seen in the trailer, man, like it looks super emotional. So
Yeah.
It'll be cool to see, and that's what's going to be fascinating about watching this movie too. Is after you watch it, like going back and watching the theatrical, and just like how did this happen? Like how did this thing get chopped up so badly? Like that's going to be a narrative out there for sure.
I think a lot of executives are going to have egg on their face, or I hope that at least. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
Part 4, Change Machine.
Yep.
Assuming this is when they bring Soups back, right? So we're thinking.
Change machines, isn't that what Silas calls the mother boxes? Could be wrong.
Yeah, I was thinking about that scene that we see where he's kind of.
But the mother box is what brings Soups back. So.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I mean, most of this stuff typically has dual meaning. But yeah, any thoughts on that? That's all I got for it, but we don't have to spend a lot of time on this.
I've got a article here talking about the Change Machine. Tyler refers to the mother box and presumably Cyborg's backstory finally being explained in detail. This is also likely the part where Eleanor's death will be seen as a part of Cyborg's focus. So we'll see.
Yeah, and we got that teaser we saw like last year with the single tear, right?
Oh, dude, that shot is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
When he's like stumbling, supposedly.
Yeah. But just the way the light hits the tear as it's falling. Like, Zach saw it in the monitor and he's like, that's the one. That's it.
Yep. I mean, I imagine it's a digital tear. I'm not going to give
or they go to
that
an
much
arcade.
credit to roll a single
that's
tear.
True. It could be that.
But, yeah.
Either way.
Part 5, all the king's horses. And all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again.
Thanks, Brandon.
That was
all right, chapter 6.
Yeah. We think.
Any thoughts on this? I assume
4 horsemen.
Got the team together.
Agents of Darkseid.
Yeah,
This is the team.
That could be. I mean, that's a good point. Like, it could be the hellscape apocalypse type deal.
Again, dual meaning. I think we're probably all right on that front.
Yeah.
Because you could be looking at if you're looking at dual meanings, like something like the 4 horsemen type deal with the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Or seahorses.
No, not Marvel. Just
I love it. Aquaman. That's where you're at.
Okay. Part 6, something darker.
Something darker. Sounds like a massive cliffhanger. Am I right?
Oh man.
So Britt and Chris, I don't know if you probably didn't watch the IGN Snyder event kind of thing they did.
I caught bits of it, but I didn't watch all of it.
Yeah. So essentially, the Terry Schwartz who was interviewing him asked him, "So, is there any intention for this thing ending in a cliffhanger?" And Zach literally goes, "Oh yeah, it's a massive cliffhanger.
Oh yeah,
the movie ends in a massive cliffhanger."
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I imagine that's exactly what
he's got to make sure that they want to bring him back, right? Like
that's right, and
everybody
he's coming back.
wants the
We're
next
willing it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got to think if Steppenwolf is the main villain of this, and we already know that there's a much bigger threat than Steppenwolf, and he's just kind of an agent. You know, maybe this is, you know, the reveal of you won, but you didn't.
Yeah, that's they're. I will say they, in all their marketing for this, and obviously they're trying to differentiate from theatrical, which probably isn't that difficult, but they're going heavy on dark side.
I like the aesthetic. I've seen people complaining online, but I think it's really cool.
Oh, dude, yeah. Everything I've seen for Dark Side has been awesome, in my opinion.
And we'll get to some more of that in a little bit.
I mean, are they going to explain like the little talking caterpillar or whatever?
That's
Shazam, bro.
Shazam.
Oh,
come on, Marvel boy.
I can't remember, man. I just remember seeing the caterpillar was talking to Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that's Shazam. No, not Lex Luthor. What are you talking about?
Wasn't that?
Talking about Dr. Savannah.
Yeah.
Britt.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, they're both bald.
Alan over here now.
Brandon's like, that's baldism.
Yeah, that's not cool. He's right there.
And then we had Clay Staub. He put out his own little graphic, part 7. It ain't over till it's over.
It's a good little
Clay Staub, for those of you that don't know, he's like set photographer, right? Or not set photographer, but location scout or something to do with
something along those lines. Yeah,
pretty cool job.
But yeah, he's kind of over the last couple of years. He's been good at like popping little, like keep fighting type pieces of content out like this. It's going to be interesting to see how this, because obviously, I mean, this fan base went so crazy that this thing's actually being made, but it's going to be nuts to see when it actually comes out, when you've got, you know, what level that gets to, plus people who do watch it on HBO Max who are like, see this massive cliffhanger and they're like, well, what are we doing here, boys? So I don't know.
I have a question around that, but like, again, this may be a whole different podcast on it, but like, so let's say this thing is like super, like, not saying incredible, but just like this sparks, we need to add
say incredible.
More to
You're allowed to say incredible.
Well, so like, what if this sparks into the whole thing of like, okay, Zack Snyder needs to come back and just keep creating the rest of the DC universe. What happens to now all of these movies that have come out afterward, right? You have Shazam, you have the new Wonder Woman that popped out, like that. Well, they don't fit in this universe yet. I
think it's good that you're here, Britt, because it's hard for you coming from the Marvel side of things. It's hard for you to think about this, but we're talking Elseworlds here. We're talking none of that other stuff matters. You have this side of the universe where this is just Zack's story he wants to tell, and everything else they can do if they want to.
In all seriousness, when they announced the multiverse concept last summer at DC Fandom, that I think that is the kind of thing that kind of gives them license to do this type of deal, because I imagine if they do continue, it's going to be something on HBO Max, where they can say like, okay, this is an HBO Max exclusive series. They're going to finish out his vision. Obviously, there's already tie from Wonder Woman movies, Aquaman movie with the characters, and there will be with Flash and other films. But yeah, I just feel like this was something where they kind of are able to. So my hope, at least, and I talked about this in the last episode that I think we talked to Comic Movie Mark about it, but My hope is that they use the multiverse in a creative way where it allows storytellers to actually tell their complete visions, and we see some cool overlap with characters like the Flash, who are, like that's in their nature. And I will say, I hope it doesn't become a crutch to where they've announced this multiverse concept and it's just like something doesn't make sense, so they're like, oh, we'll just chalk it up to the multiverse, we can do whatever we want. Like, that's my only fear about
and I guess that's kind of the part where I see is like Flashpoint makes perfect sense, and I watched a lot of the CW Flash and stuff, and I know about Flashpoint in the comics at a very, very low level. But I guess that's the thing, is like the Green Lantern movie, right? You can be like, that's not part of this universe, don't worry about it, because he never had interactions. I guess the part that just sticks out to me is specifically the latest Wonder Woman movie and Shazam. Because Shazam's like pure comedy, right? It's a whole different feel, even though in that kind of post-credit scene you have Superman, there, you have Batman being referenced on cutouts and things like that. So like that's kind of the piece where I'm curious what they do with those movies, as you have Shazam 2 in the works and stuff, which doesn't have the same feel and doesn't feel like it's in the same world.
One thing I will say, and I totally understand where you're coming from, especially the fact that you are a Marvel fan, like they're master craftsmen at like creating this web of very like organized storylines and weaving characters together and all that. I hope that we get to the point with, I don't know if you've watched any of the DC animated stuff in the past.
I've seen a handful. Yeah.
So like in the past 10 years. So they do things where like you'll see, it's very comic book ish in that you'll see people like voice actors, some same voice actors playing the same character in different animation styles. A movie that's like Apocalypse War, which is like rated R, super brutal, and then more like kid friendly ish type deal. Like that's kind of where I hope they get to the point with these DC movies, but I think it's going to require a lot of education just because Marvel has done what they've done and people expect like this very linear.
I mean,
what's up, Brandon? Go
ahead.
I mean,
I always have like, so is this Batman? Is this the one with the Heath Ledger Jokers? Like talking about Affleck, people like general audiences just don't. Yeah, they don't, dig into this stuff as much as people like us do. So, and also, like Ryan was saying, there is kind of a Marvel kind of ruined a lot of people in terms, and I say ruined, I mean it loosely, like expecting all these things to be connected.
Yeah,
no, a lot of them are, and a lot of them aren't. And so it's like Joker, like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie came out. A lot of people were like, "So is this? How is this connected to the Batman movies?" And like, no, it's just its own thing.
Yeah.
And
I love what Marvel does, and I just hope that DC can differentiate itself in this regard and do something that's like Marvel's basically created its own genre. I mean, essentially, like I would like to see DC kind of do something more like flexible comic based, and I don't know, allow like be more focused on like singular storylines, and I don't know, so just less like working its way up to the big bad kind of deal.
And I agree with you on that. Like Marvel definitely, when they created this universe, it created this whole everything has to connect mentality. And I feel like,
I mean, look at every studio where they were trying to do that. You had, all these different. Well, that universe. You've got the Universal Monsters universe tried to do it. I mean, John Wick's got his own. They have all these different continuity, like TV shows, and so Fast and Furious. They have their spinoff stuff they're doing. It's like everybody's trying to do this like multiverse, or not multiverse, but connected universe. But
it's just more. It's just one of those. Like again, I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. I think that this will be the first test of it because we're going to see Jared Leto's Joker, right? Like he looks different, but it's the same actor. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that, which may have an answer to how they're going to try to handle some of this stuff potentially in the future, like the last Wonder Woman movie. I was just curious from your guys' point of view.
And to answer that question a little, like, we had no expectations to get an invite. Like, we haven't been doing this long.
You guys think
we're very new to this? I mean, we've been in this community on the DL, like, on our personal Twitter pages and stuff like that. But we're not upset that we didn't get one. We never expected to get one, and so. For Chris and Britt, a lot of people that are in the Snyder community that blog or podcast, do live shows, YouTube, they got invites to a special screening.
It's like,
oh, cool, nice, Chris.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for you.
So it's
I don't
awesome.
think I'm going to use it.
Well deserved.
I got it.
Yeah, Chris just gonna send that to junk.
Delete.
Pencil
anyway,
it in. We'll see what happens.
Is there anything else about that? Or we had to move on to the.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Cool. All right. So then, I guess it was earlier last week. They dropped a few full posters, 2 of them actually. And this is the best one because it's got Superman's accurate suit.
Look, I love,
and then
you guys know how
you've
nuts
got your
I am
black
about
issues
about this movie, but I have some serious gripes about these posters.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and air that out?
For one,
how
do you get to the how does this poster get released without putting Ben Affleck's eye black on his eyes? I
don't know if we can see that.
Yeah. Scroll over. There you go. You can see.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's a little grainy, but yeah, he doesn't have his eye black.
It's just quality control type stuff, I think. But and then Superman's emblem. There's obviously a red and blue suit treated version, then a black suit treated version.
I think this one would be the correct one, right?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, but I mean, other than that,
still
it's just
using that black and white motif. Snyder's really pushing the black and white in the marketing, at least in posters. And for those that don't know, there is a black and white version that will be released called the Justice Gray version.
Yep.
It's supposed to be on HBO Max, and I assume physical release whenever that happens as well. I don't know if the black and gray version or the Justice Gray version will be from the get-go. I doubt it will. I think they'll push the color version first, and then maybe
I don't know if you watched the Film Junkie Ray Porter Zack Snyder combo, but Zach was talking about the Justice Gray version. He was saying that it's really awesome because it's the first time that he's really seen the power of HDR. So it'd be interesting to see how they how that turns out.
That could be interesting if it's not just I'm just going to grayscale everything. If you think of since
they're definitely
be really cool.
Putting effort into it for sure.
It's color corrected with from the ground up black and white. And the reason is Snyder lived with a black and white version for years. Yeah. His cut of the film, because the black and white is an easier intermediate for directors to work with before they move to color, because you don't have to worry about it's a lot of special effects processing, that kind of thing. It's just quicker to output all this stuff in black and white and work from that to get it where, and then they kind of output it to color after they've kind of got their cut assembled.
And this was so to give a little backstory too, when he left the project, he actually just took his laptop with him home, and he's like, I've got my unfinished cut on here, so something that I'll have to show folks if they come over to the house or whatever. I think he said something along those lines. But and so everything that he would put out on social, to kind of rally the troops over the last few years, everything was black and white because that's what he had.
That's what it was. Yeah, it wasn't like he was putting bumping down the saturation and putting it on Vero. It was this is what it looks like because that's what he had.
Yeah,
that's what he worked with. But anyway, All right. So we got that poster, and then we started doing the character teases.
Yeah, that's good. Just zoom in so you can't see his eyes. Then it looks great.
That's fine. Yep. How's that, Ryan?
This angle, I'm used to like trash blowing in the way.
Yeah.
So first day, I don't remember, what was it, Wednesday?
Let's count backwards. Wednesday. Flash was today.
Had 4.
Aquaman, Superman. So Thursday, maybe?
Thursday. Okay. Yeah. Thursday, start off was Batman Day, my favorite day. So start off with a little bats. We'll do the trailer at the end. Let's do just
we'll just go through these posters first.
Yeah. So had some little like character teases.
Yeah.
Just different shots.
Was it Supergirl right there, guys?
It could be.
No.
Yeah. That's a good looking leg.
It is. We'll see.
As Brandon says, that
no trash
looks like a lady's leg.
Looks like a lady's leg to me. So we got Bruce, Batman GIF. And then there's a little, I don't know, this audio is going to come blaring, so bear with me.
So with those animations and that little clip there wasn't necessarily anything or a ton of new anything in there.
Not for Batman, yeah.
But yeah, the later characters, there's some newer stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, they basically just been ever since Thursday. They've just been doing a character a day up to now.
And then they have done an actual like teaser trailer, and this is the Batman one.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about you. Didn't think you were real.
Your guilt's become your reason.
Hate is useless.
I will come for my great prize.
If you want the Batman, here is something that can help you.
I have a stake in this world, and it's time I started fighting for it.
You've fulfilled your promise.
Brandon and I always joke about this, but when we watch this movie for the first time, it's going to be so much of, why would they cut this? How is this not in the original? Like that's what the vibe I get when I see any of these scenes, or the feel I get when I see any of these scenes.
Do we want to break down this dialogue at all? I mean, obviously,
no doubt.
The biggest thing of the day was Darkseid's voice.
Darkseid.
In my opinion, that's in all of these teasers. Like that's what's most intriguing is just the dialogue pulls. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like Darkseid's voice was. You can play it, Brandon. Here, yeah. First time that we've actually heard Ray Porter as Darkseid.
Hate is useless.
All right, here.
Come for my great prize.
If you want the Batman, here.
And he actually, on that same Film Junkie interview, he was talking with Dave Pena, and he did his Darkseid voice on the stream into the mic, and dude, terrifying. Sounds exactly like that. Like I was expecting that to be way modded up.
Not a lot of post processing. I mean, there's like crazy. Like reverb.
Have you figured out how to do it yet, Brandon? Like I know you
for my great prize.
Something like that.
Not bad.
But yeah. So I mean,
is this the Martian Manhunter one?
Martian Manhunter at the end.
Harry Lennox. This shot's awesome, by the way.
Harry L.
Obviously, a reference to Dark Knight Returns.
And it's time I started fighting for it.
There's Harry Lennox.
I just wonder with the Martian Manhunter line, we know that.
Agree with you, John. 100%.
We know that Martian Manhunter has a very brief cameo with Lois, but this line makes me think that there's another scene with him elsewhere.
Right.
Because I just can't see it playing out because I don't think. Which is cool. Any other things to call
the
out on
Lex
this?
line is cool. I will say that.
You want to give it to us? You want to give it to us, Ryan? You've said it many times since this trailer.
Do I?
You want to do your best Lex impersonation?
I'd rather not. Let's leave it to Lex.
Okay.
Play it again. Play it again.
Okay. All right. We'll play it one more time. We'll move on. How about that?
With people in the back.
I'll do it full volume. Well, not full. We'll give it a little bit of.
I heard about you. Didn't think you were real.
Your guilt's have become your
Brett's
reason.
like, I didn't sign up for this, guys. I'm going to do this for everyone.
If you want the Batman, here is something that can help you.
I have a stake in this
And
world.
I
It's time I
imagine
start
that
fighting
is
for it.
Lex talking to Deathstroke.
Yeah.
You've fulfilled your promise.
Which is going to be this scene right here.
I spent a lot of time trying to divide us.
To me,
Yeah,
speaks
you
volumes
talked about that.
because
I need to
of the
bring us
relationship between
together and make this right.
Clark and Bruce. Essentially, Bruce just being completely, his whole agenda in BVS was got to kill this guy. And then you've got Bruce coming back from the dead, basically dying kind of because of Batman, essentially, indirectly, I guess, and then helping Bruce up. And also Bruce is the only human in this group, And so,
Chris, do you remember in the theatrical where Superman shows up at the end and they flash to Batman like up in the rafters and he this goofy like cowl smile thing. Like, oh my goodness, he's here.
Great part of that. They just ruined Batman in the theatrical.
Oh
So
man,
bad.
and I've said this before.
And that was one
but
of the worst for sure.
I'm so looking forward to like real Batman in this movie and not like jokey.
I think
Batman.
that smile was worse than like something's broken. Like the smile, I think was the worst part.
That's so bad.
I think
So
the other thing that kind of stood out is also just the Joker laugh. I mean, I know we've already got
Yeah.
spoiled that he's in the movie from the other trailers, but
right,
again, it just harkens back to Jared Leto being in this, and it'll be interesting to see if it's just that one little scene, if we see it a couple different times, like what kind of role he actually plays into the
There's a lot of people speculating that he could be kind of the linchpin to future Snyder DC stuff or future Ben Affleck Batman material. Him coming off of the little things, the success of the little things, and honestly being in the hands of a director like Zack Snyder and like letting in a film that is letting his vision kind of guide the entire premise. Like, I don't know. It'd be cool to see his iteration in the hands of Zack Snyder, I think. Be very different from what we got in many ways.
yeah. He's also just got a lot of pull in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
I think that's the big thing.
Agreed.
All right. So the
talk
next
Superman.
character. Your head at Soups.
Who's that?
Okay. You want to hear
so,
my
Ryan,
my
go
massive
ahead.
gripe about this poster?
I mean, it is very glaring.
Immediately, like, oh, they didn't use the S emblem from his suit.
These movies.
They picked like
It's on an S.
They picked, yeah, that's true.
They didn't use the right Hope emblem.
Yeah,
This is it
I
seems
was
to be
just
the
like,
Donner emblem.
why?
I don't get this. And I
all the
joked
other
with Ryan.
ones.
I was like, Jeff Johns and Toby Emmerich must have like called up the graphic designer. Was like, hey, you got to put this in there. They must have some dirt on him or something.
Yeah, yeah. All the other posters have been their movie specific, emblems, and this one just, I don't know, Google imaged the wrong thing or something. I don't know.
Maybe I'm not as well educated or familiar as you guys, but I feel like in all the films so far, we see a lot more texture and almost like toughness to the suit. In this one, with like the contrast so extreme, it just makes it look very like spandexy, different than
the old
what I'm used
the
to.
old school Batman.
Yeah, for sure.
The old school.
And a lot of that goes back to the fact that they had to shoot everything in the blue suit and then go back in. And they made adjustments to the suit. Zack made adjustments to the suit, like the silver, like plating
little
and
underlay.
stuff,
Yeah.
so that they could go back and post and change to black,
Yeah.
and it would do what he wanted. But good, Brandon.
Yeah. So I mean, it seemed like that his intention, similarly the way he put out BVS Ultimate Edition, I imagine his intention was like, okay, maybe if I don't get to do it theatrical, maybe I'll be able to put like a black suit edition on home video. That's like, okay, this was what I more in line with what I intended.
Yeah,
Shit, the mullet.
I agree. Would have been cool. So anyway, and then you've also got your little character.
Yeah, which this is
Character
interesting
teases.
because he's gonna have the black suit in this movie. Like, he's not gonna go back to the red and blue suit in this movie.
Now,
So we're gonna
do we know that 100%? That
Do I?
I know what you're saying is this shirt rip scene that was actually in the theatrical. And he has the blue and red suit.
Sure.
Do we think that he ends up getting like this? He's got like, now that everything's over, he gets back in that suit, or do we think he's still going to be in the black and silver suit?
Zach said, and maybe it's a thing where, like, it all goes back to like what was original with what he was trying to do. At one point, he did say on Vero that he does not like he's black suit throughout the entire movie. Like, he does not go back.
Gotcha.
So
I'm fine either way. I know a lot of people.
I think it actually would be kind of cool. It's like a traditional way to do the traditional shirt
rip.
Yeah. Which is, I feel like we've seen in every movie, so it could be a cool little twist on it.
Indeed.
Yeah,
You
and
guys got any
we got
thoughts about this stuff? No, what are you saying? And we got
I was gonna say the farm scene. I'm super excited about not seeing the itchy scene. They like included that in like just one of those where they included the footage in a trailer that wasn't they didn't show in the movie, which was gosh, killed me. Chris, Britt,
Yo.
got anything jumps out at you with this stuff, Superman stuff?
No, I mean, I think the black suit is a cool kind of thing to also make it feel different when he comes back. Kind of going back to the kind of what Brandon was saying with the red and blue suit. It'll be interesting if he stays in the black suit, even like future movie, right? Like, I don't know I know you guys know the timeline way better than me. I don't know if they have more Superman stuff planned over the next couple of years, but if going beyond this cut, if he's going to be back to, red and blue or staying with black and only reason being, when you think of like branding and stuff, like his S and all that doesn't pop off of his suit for future stuff, right? When he's all back to just Superman by himself.
Well, see, this is the same mindset that the executives had in terms of gotta have him in the red and blue suit. But
we do know that by the time he succumbs to the anti-life equation for the nightmare stuff, he's back to red and blue.
Red and blue.
So,
but for those, I assume you know this, Britt. I don't know. The black suit has a purpose, not just being different. I mean, black.
It's regenerative, basically.
Yeah, it's a regenerative suit. It absorbs sun quicker, and Superman gets his energy from the sun. So there are reasons. It's not, just like, there's a story. There's a story reason to it, and it's also real cool. So
I love the look. I'm going to be honest. I mean, you probably couldn't make something that I wouldn't love in a black suit just because I wanted to see it so bad, but I really do dig the look. I love what they're able to do. I was kind of worried about how it was going to look going through, like having to alter it in post. But, I mean, it looks great to me.
Indeed. All right. And then, I hope this isn't too loud, but...
Whew.
Anything you want to call
front
out?
Kick?
Little
I just like how much more impactful it was in energy, whereas I mean the theatrical version is just like I'm gonna hit you now, and nobody else matters.
Believe in
I
truth.
still
Here I
bothering
am.
you?
Whereas this, like, there's a whole lot of impact to it, and energy, and motion, and yeah.
Even
I mean,
this shot here in
definitely
Heroes
a breath,
Park,
breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
like he's more like terrifying than
Well, well, you've got, I assume, soldiers shooting at him.
right.
Or is this something Cyborg's doing? I can't exactly tell. But we know, I think we know that there is
should probably
a
move.
soldier element to this fight that was lost in theatrical. And then, there's your drop kick. Boom.
Oh man.
And I think that this, like, especially black suit and all, like, I think he does look he does look way more menacing in the fact that, like, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like Superman in the fact that he just has this issue to where anything that you should have in a superhero he has, right? Like he's essentially a godlike character in the DC universe. So it's kind of one of those things like, why do you need the Justice League when you have Superman? And so, like, I like that they're bringing him in, and he does look as powerful as he should look in this scene. So it'll be interesting to see when that comes into the movie.
Also,
and if
I feel like
feels out.
there's going to be, kind of branching off what you're saying, like I feel like there's going to be like an anger to his character that we didn't see in the theatrical, where he just like I don't know, he like comes back and he's just kind of like, whoa, like, oh, I'm back alive, and I guess I should go help the guys. But like the itchy stuff, like I just feel like there's going to be more. We're going to see Flight 2.0 where he goes and gets his new suit, and
I hated his return in the theatrical, and this looks pretty cool, really exciting.
Yeah,
it's like he comes back.
You didn't like I believe in truth.
I mean, that farm scene where Lois is like crying and apologizing, and it makes it sound like she's just like sleeping around, which is like, I'm really sorry while you were gone.
Lois Lane in the theatrical, I don't know what they did to her, but she looks like she just like swallowed or drank a whole bottle of Tabasco and like I don't know, soaked her hair in it too, and she just looks like a cherry,
and that's the other thing, is the color grading in this, seeing the difference. And you guys know that, like, I don't love the Man of Steel color grading. I've definitely kind of commented on it over the years, but still I'd much prefer that and something that's designed to be versus what they did, the last go around, where it's like, something isn't right here.
Something's definitely broken. Yep.
Oh, so you didn't like this?
Gosh. Oh, look away.
That's not Tom Welling.
There's a Stephen Colbert, not who you're thinking. He's a
Colbert.
we follow.
It's
Colbert. Sorry.
Yeah.
We follow him on a lot. We've followed him for years on Twitter, and he found some app where you can take photos like this, and you film yourself, and it like starts to move their eyes, but like keeps their face the same way. Like, so he was doing it with a bunch of scenes like this from Justice League, like these like creepy deal. So he did one with the scene where he's just like sitting there smiling and moving his eyes around. Yeah, there you go. That's not the modified.
That's not it, but
yeah. It was just like 30 seconds of him like looking back and forth with that creepy smile.
He's got a Joker smile.
It's bad, man.
Right, what's the thing called, where they slit your Irish smile? What is
oh man, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That opening scene with the cell phone, he looks like he like went and got a fill or a root canal or something, and he's still numbed up or swollen. So bad.
All right, so let's get to this teaser. I will back it up.
Ooh, buddy.
The whole world is mourning, grieving over a symbol.
Let's hope you're not too late.
I'm going to pause it for a second. This,
break it down.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Female form. Red cape.
Feora.
Nope.
Can you zoom in on the legs?
This is the ship that Kara crashed in. This is the ship that he finds that is his quote unquote Fortress of Solitude.
Mm-hmm.
But this is similar to Feora, but that's what that mission was for. It was like a mission of
scouting mission.
Yeah. And so if you read that comic, but yeah,
kind of like the Saiyans.
This is likely Kara's
get you, Chris.
Suit. Move on, and then you can see that like foraging, like that you see.
What's hilarious is they released after the theatrical. They released this as a deleted scene where he walks down this hallway, and play a little bit further, Brandon, where you can see
It's time. I made a promise on his grave.
So you see the classic suit spin in there on the left. They released the clip. He walks down the hallway, and the suit that he looks at there is the black suit. And then but they cut out all the other suits. So this is technically a deleted scene within a deleted scene. So we got an Inception thing going on here.
Indeed. Do we want to rewind it so we can hear the voiceover? Let's do it.
The whole world is mourning, grieving over a symbol.
Let's hope you're not too late.
It's like they were afraid of him.
Fly, son. It's time. I made a promise.
Chills.
On his grave. What do you have to lose? No, us without him.
We do this together.
You will help them accomplish wonders. They wanted me back for a reason. I need to find out why.
Oh man. You can't see it right now, but I got goosebumps, all right? I got goosebumps, guys.
I know.
Brian, you're the soups guy, so
I was watching this. It's actually funny. I was watching this. I was showing Katie this clip. I was just holding my phone, and then like right after it ended, I lifted my arm up and said, "You see that?" She was like, "You have a problem." So first thing that stands out to me. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
First thing that stands out to me with this one is Jonathan Kent's voiceover.
Fly, son. It's time.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for anything with that character. Back to Smallville, watching Smallville episodes.
It's awesome. So I wonder. So that's a new line.
Obviously, you're a Costner guy.
So we've got essentially confirmation that Pa Kent is in this movie. Kevin Costner, and I wonder. I wonder if that is it. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is that scene with Pa Kent is going to be in his like Fortress of Solitude, or if it's going to be on Kent Farm in the cornfield before Lois comes out?
That's a good question. They had that scene in BVS where the
top of the mountain thing.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think it makes more sense for it to be at Kent Farm.
I can see that.
Like maybe when he's.
Do you think we'll have more of a point of view of him coming back to life than we got before? Of like things going through his head, or
it could be what actually that conversation could be what convinces him to go back to the scout ship and get a suit and do his thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And obviously we've got some shots here of Flight 2.0 that I mentioned earlier. A lot of kind of parallels to obviously Man of Steel.
Do you think anything of what we've seen with Superman so far potentially ties into Nightmare?
What we've seen so far?
That you guys have just played in the past few minutes?
As far as
I don't think
dialogue?
Or like, we've seen kind of like that menacing Soups, like if any of those little snips could maybe be part of that.
I don't think anything in this trailer is, but I am curious to see if because obviously we saw that in BVS with the Batman scene where he rips the cowl off. It would be cool to see, because the scene was awesome as a Superman fan. It'd be cool to see some more Annie life, even if it's just like a thing.
Yeah, I don't because of the black suit tie. I mean, we know that Soups has the other suit in his Nightmare stuff, unless they break continuity, which I don't see Zack doing.
Well, I don't mean like stuff in this trailer. I'm just saying it would be cool to see more of what we saw on BVS.
I mean, as far as the dialogue, I think that there could be, because we have that get down, the dialogue that seems to be from Victor.
Cyborg.
It's not Shazam. Some people thought it was Shazam. Yeah.
It's like Shazam tie-in.
That could be Nightmare related, possibly, or Mother Box.
That was my first
related.
First guess was Mother Box explosion.
But let's listen to it
one more time for Ryan, please. Thank you.
The whole world is mourning, grieving over a symbol.
Let's hope you're not too late.
It's like they were afraid of him.
Fly, son. It's time.
I made a promise on his grave.
This world will join me. What do we have to lose?
No us without him.
We'll do this together.
So that sounds like Steppenwolf to me. Right?
Which one?
This world will join the others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I assumed it was. Who do you think what have you got to lose dialogue? Is that Barry or?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Got any guesses?
Chris is like Flash. Yep, it's Flash.
Britt was like, I thought it was Shazam too. Sorry.
Same here.
To be honest, without doing the multiple views that I'm sure you guys have done, it's hard for me to like really take everything out because they just kind of like keep rolling into each other.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't.
You don't say.
This is the first time we've watched this.
Never mind. Okay.
Never seen it before.
We don't over obsess about this. What are you saying?
I'd have to go back and watch the other
spend
movies
time with your
like
wives
6 more times.
Yeah.
Pick up on all the
Well, you
voices.
should.
Voices.
You should do that. I mean,
Telling you, we do need to do Man of Steel and BVS review. For the sake of the channel.
we'll do it. We'll do it.
All right.
Anything else
I won't
on
make you guys
Superman?
watch it again. We can go to the next one.
Okay, next one. The Aquaman. Yeah.
Feels like a bet.
I mean, all these things are, Aquaman, Mother's Trident, stuff we've seen before. It's not like it's completely new, but they obviously within the same aesthetic as all the other posters.
Yep.
And you have got these guys.
Hey,
right
this looked like the puzzle that was on the internet. You guys know what I'm talking about?
It does look
know what you're
similar,
talking about.
doesn't it?
Huh.
It does look similar to that scene.
That scene is going to be cool, I think, especially after seeing.
I mean, it wouldn't have happened without you guys.
Yeah,
It wouldn't. It's true.
I know. The Volca. Well, I won't. We'll watch the trailer before we talk about that, or teaser trailer. But yeah, these are some more gifts. Super dig the axe.
I remember that
on the axe.
That little quick clip of him getting the trident right there when Bruce Batman throws him the trident. I remember that being like one of the first initial teases. It wasn't in the theatrical, but I remember from way back. Feels like we've been in a coma for like 4 years, and now we're like, this movie's coming out now. Good. Finally.
Will you guys give a quick explanation on that puzzle that I mentioned? Not everybody knows. You guys are important.
So they've been doing a bunch of kind of marketing activation,
fan-driven marketing.
Yeah. They've done a couple where like they'll post a clip up and it'll be like find the mother box, and they just kind of like insert a frame of one of the mother boxes and you screenshot it and send it back to them, that kind of stuff. But one of them that they did was a like social media scavenger hunt type puzzle, and they sent 20 pieces of a image from the movie out to different folks on social media, and they would post them at different times of the day, and gradually people would find these posts, whether it's on Reddit or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and just kind of, it's cool little ways to generate some activity and buzz around the movie. And one that they did on this shot here at the beginning where, or maybe it's the last GIF where they're he's underwater with Hulko.
Hey, I gotta jump real quick, but I'll be right back.
That's what this shot right here where he's underwater. That was one of the puzzles that they put up, I guess, last week at this point. Yeah, or maybe beginning of last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been surprised at how kind of like they've been very proactive about doing this kind of like more marketing, like actual marketing campaign type stuff.
Yeah, you guys were one of 20, right? That had a piece.
Oh, you're too kind, right? Chris.
Where was that posted? What was the handle
Chris, you're trying to puff us up here
a little bit.
Stroke our egos.
Our subscriber rates just skyrocketed.
Well, you just had one of your voices here just left, so I gotta pump you guys back up. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna go take a nap and I'll be back.
All of a sudden, yeah.
I'm gonna go cut my beard.
Brandon, you have anything you want to add on these animations, or?
Nope, I don't think so. I think we can go on to the next little thing.
Okay.
So, the thing that stuck out was that part right there.
Which part?
Slamming the trident down, or the quindit down, right there at the where's it? There.
I gotcha.
Boom.
Kabam!
Stop it. Right there. Plow. Because you remember they had that in the marketing, they had this like where one woman drops down, shall we, whatever, and Arthur and Victor are standing there behind her. But then in the movie, they're not behind her, like in the theatrical. It's just her.
Sure.
Just little stuff like that. Like, what?
How did they cut that?
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff we've seen, like, him stopping the water. This, I mean, I know part of this was in theatrical, but Momoa surfing Parademon.
Yeah, that's pretty
cool, man. So cool. I love it. Okay,
right there with
let's get on. You guys got anything you want to add onto that one? Britt,
looks good.
Pee or something?
No, dog. Good.
Oh,
no, like I think the thing is, like, what's interesting just in Justice League in general is the fact that they're kind of going with Aquaman being the comedy relief. I mean, Flash still is, but like really in a lot of your series and stuff, like Aquaman really wasn't the comedy. But no, I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I like all the stuff and even the original stuff that was there. So looking forward to see what they've kind of added to that.
I do think that in this movie we're gonna see, and in the theatrical they yucked up the Flash character like crazy. I think we're gonna see that disappear, and I think we are gonna see the more dry, like Momoa type humor of Aquaman come out, and it won't be as like, talking about brunch and whatever else, snack holes.
What is that?
You're gonna notice that we keep saying, in the theatrical they yucked up insert name of character here. But it's true.
I mean, it's accurate.
Yeah. All right, so here you go.
You can't turn your back on the world forever. Above or below.
Thousands of years since our people spoke. The firstborn, beloved queen of love.
I need warriors. You can't escape.
The time has come. Take up your mother's trident.
This is a bad idea. Fighting the devil and his army.
It's great. The Volko stuff's awesome. I'm excited to see that. Didn't see it at all in the theatrical.
Do you think this scene they'll switch it to where he takes a swig of Snyder's bourbon and throws it?
They totally should.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, in the theatrical, this scene, he was swimming up to just like a body floating instead of whatever that king or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's not Atlan, I don't think, because he doesn't get the actual trident from Atlan until the actual Aquaman movie. But
yeah, it's very like
unless it is Atlan. I mean, it could be a thing that they're like, nope, we got to remove this because we're going to do this. But
maybe,
I don't know.
But I don't know. It was cool to see Snyder's Aquaman emblem there at the end in the at the title card. You know, we obviously
I think
one
it
thing
was done by one of Lex's graphic designers, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
One
thing that I did notice about this one,
it is
compared
you
to the other little teasers, was the ending music after they cut to black and then hit the title card, or this when they hit it right here. This music right here is different from all the other teasers.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Mother's trident.
Right here.
This is a bad idea. Fighting the devil and his army. You know.
Nice, yeah.
And you know, Brandon picked that up on the first viewing. The first viewing of all these.
I actually did pick that up on the first viewing.
Brandon's joms with his bond, you know.
Just for reference.
They wanted me back for a reason.
Now he's just proving
different music. Same music was used for the Batman one.
Yeah,
and
take your word for it.
The Flash one. We'll see in a second.
Chris trusts you.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you. Anyway,
all right, Chris, this is your moment to shine.
So
flashed.
After Aquaman, we've got.
Does that mean like Aquaman has to be my favorite? If I'm going to be honest, like future.
Is it true?
We got Batman, Superman.
Yeah, that's true.
Year.
You could be.
Maybe it's Wonder Woman. I don't know.
Yeah, be Wonder Woman.
We'll revisit
Cyborg. You know, Martian Manhunter, maybe Green Lantern. We'll see.
Who knows? Don't know if enough time.
Yeah. Got 4 hours, Ryan. Got a little bit of time. Yeah. So yeah, Flash. You know, in keeping with the rest of the stuff, it's not much to talk about. Besides, I mean, it does look like its own brand. They used the right logos this time. That's good.
I thought that was an S for Shazam behind.
Yeah. You guys. Britt really wants Shazam in this movie.
Shazam!
The takeaway from this one is him with the puppies. Yeah. And then
maybe something with Iris there. Like maybe she works there.
I think so. Now the takeaway with this one, actually no, it's the next one. It's the video. Do you think when he lands on this platform,
ask Chris, what are you feeling? You like these?
Yeah, what you feeling, Chris?
Flash guy.
I'm a big Flash guy. I mean, the first one's a little boring. He's smiling awkwardly and he's with puppies, and then you see him, you know, talking to his dad. But, you know, one of the things I've always really liked about the Flash character, which I hope they go into, is he's always kind of treated as like this annoying, trying to be funny, like a little bit of comic relief kind of character, but it gets called out in, you know, different mediums of like he's almost he's like a hurt hero hiding behind the mask of a jester in a lot of ways. He's like kind of putting on the act of like, oh, I'm goofy and I don't care.
Yeah,
it's like maybe you could pull that from that. You're seeing him in like these light little moments, and then you see him, you know, and what his kind of main purpose is trying to like free his dad for the frame of his mom's murder.
Yeah.
So that's something I'd love to see them do with the Flash character, and you know, maybe I'm really reaching to find something there. But I hope not. It'd be cool to see him get some justice on the screen. And, you know, we've seen a lot of speedsters in live action at this point. And it's usually done, you know, really, you know, memorable and interesting ways, especially like Quicksilver that we saw in the X-Men movies. But, you know, this is cool that we're seeing something that has a little bit more energy to it. You know, we're not just seeing purely the slow-mo scene. We're seeing him just like take off, and there's force to it. it seems like there's something there. It's not just somebody like whizzing by or them just in slow-mo or everyone else in slow-mo.
How he like actually impacts with the world.
Yeah, the impact is pretty cool.
We'll get to his little Iris scene in a minute, but I'll just wait until I say this. Okay, yeah, and then there was
Speed Force.
That shot was cool. There's a still that I think Zach released at some point where if you can freeze it on, I think you know what I'm talking about, Brandon.
True. Yeah.
Where
no,
they're around all these people and there's multiple flash, like he's just moving so quickly that you see him like, kind of like all over the screen. So I'm excited to see that. What I like about what we're seeing in these teasers is like he's not given that like one-dimensional, like you're talking about, Chris, where like they show him take off and then like you're in the Flash world, like like they're showing, like you're gonna see stuff like what it would look like from an outsider's perspective here, where in the Speed Force, like from Barry's point of view.
Yeah, that's some intimidation to his abilities.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now the question is he moving so fast that we see multiple, or are there multiple? Like, is this a time travel thing?
Who knows? We
don't know. I mean, it could be either, but we're pretty positive that there is a time travel element in this movie. That possibly
and you'll see that in the teaser.
Loses.
It's pretty much verbatim.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Some cool stuff there.
I would agree with Chris, though, just in the fact that like it does feel different. So like we've seen, like you mentioned, we had the whole Flash or Quicksilver in Days of Future Past. We've had now we've had with WandaVision and the kids, we've had CW's Flash. Like I do like that this one feels different. It feels like its own. Especially with a lot of the lightning and everything off of them, where you wouldn't want to be ran into him from there, right? Like, so
yeah, it's almost like, and I feel like it's kind of being hinted at, but like, there's almost like a fear of the danger of what he can do, like the damage that he can do. Which would be cool to see that side explored.
Kind of a Hermes look in that slow-mo shot, which is cool with how God-oriented all the DC stuff is.
Yeah. Also dig how they kind of treat, it's almost like he's like swimming through the air versus like just like.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are indifferent about that, but
I don't love his mechanics when they slow it down. You see that kind of like ice skating look, but it's different. It's cool.
Well, his one foot almost looks like he has wings on the back of his. But when you bring up the Hermes,
yeah, that's true.
There,
we know Zach did it on purpose.
Duh. Probably
everything's intentional.
Yep.
All right. I remember seeing that at that Comic-Con footage.
Because I mean this. I'm putting together a team, people with special abilities.
You can be whatever you want to be. I can't sit here and watch you run in place.
You'll have to run faster than you've ever attempted.
You're brilliant, man. Absolute best of the best.
Make your own future, your own future. Make your own past, make your own past. It's all right now.
Whew. I love it. I see Chris excited over there.
Yeah. My buddy Alan Hicks, who was actually on here earlier, he and he may still be here. He sent me a text today on Instagram saying that this was his favorite of the promos so far, and I have to. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brett.
I just had a question to Chris about the Flash stuff. Is Iris always his like adopted sister? in all the comics, or is that just a CW Flash thing?
I believe that's just a CW thing. I didn't read a ton of the Flash series throughout. I would just pick up random issues. I loved all the animated stuff growing up, and everything that I had ever read, she was the romantic interest.
Yeah,
and not any like adoptive thing. So I don't know if it was something that came up in the comics that I never read, because DC has done a lot of like retcon kind of things and refreshing the universe. So maybe something was there, and that's where the CW pulled from. I'm not sure. I'm not like an expert on all of the relationships that have kind of been tried out.
Yeah, my understanding is that typically it's the romantic side or romantic relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I love the shot where the Batarang shot's awesome too. But I
love how it comes in focus, just like right there at the last point.
The shot where she's on the ground and he's like, "All right, I gotta go."
Yeah. What I also love about that sequence, I know Chris, you're indifferent about the shoes splitting apart, but
I just don't like the motion to it.
Gotcha. I love that he's just kind of helping her down instead of like, because if he were to like go full force to like catch her, it'd kill her. And so it's really awesome how subtle they do that.
Yeah.
And also, back that up. I think we got our that little the hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's why they had that in that little teaser thing. Now I was curious, like, what's the hot dogs for? I was like, they're not doing the snack hole thing again, are they?
Oh no.
Any comments about the VO on top of this? Obviously, Henry.
I think it's cool with how much pressure seems to build on him. Because like I was saying earlier, like he's kind of that tortured hero that tries to pretend that he's not, and he's cool. So just kind of hearing that inner monologue of, there's so much pressure on him, so much riding on him, expectations, and then you kind of hear that self-talk at the end. Like, I don't know, I loved it.
Dude, you got to watch. I'm telling you need to watch. That's your homework for the week. You got to go watch Apocalypse War.
All right.
So good.
I like where you hear the voiceover where he's talking about, you're having to run as fast as you ever ran, and then you're seeing kind of this last scene here where that's him definitely running into the Speed Force, potentially, like you were talking about, Brandon, like time travel or whatever there. And maybe we'll get some explanation to that scene in Batman versus Superman. But so
they have an exhibit. Go ahead.
We're gonna get to that too. Okay. Right at the end. But Ryan and I have talked before. I think we were talking with Sean O'Connell about whenever even in the theatrical, there's the Superman resurrection. He's running, hits the mother box, and then he kind of like goes through a wall right after.
They don't really address it at all in the
they don't address they kind of talk about it.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, like his different kind of abilities and how he figures out different things he can do with his speed. Like one of them is he can like vibrate all of his atoms so much that they will just phase through things.
Well, I was wondering if they used that as like his first kind of like tapping into the Speed Force astroplane type thing. Because we do have, I don't know, was it in one of those gifts where he's like in that? This one right here.
Where he's in the tunnel, running down the.
Right there. Yeah. Not the tunnel, but like the little like astro, like the like, I don't.
Like, what is this?
Like I'm just wondering if there's a thing where like right after he hits the mother box, he ends up in this like. He's like in this like Speed Force-y type like this type of scenario where he's like, what's going, whatever. And then he gets pulled out of it somehow or something. Who knows? We'll see. But
yeah,
I think there will definitely be more context than just him going through the wall in the theatrical. And then that's, they don't have to.
I'd love to see an Easter egg of like a potential villain, kind of another speedster in that Speed Force. Something small would be cool.
Yeah, that would totally be something he would throw into.
Yeah.
He actually hinted at that today on Vero. Someone asked if there going to be any hints of future members of the league or anything, and he just said like, "We'll see," with a winky face emoji or whatever kind of thing.
I like the sound effect they do too when he grabs the batarang. It's just like almost like comical to where it just fits like the Flash kind of character a little bit.
It's almost like, is it actually a sound effect or is it like a very like it's cool to see. It's almost like the ice breaking beneath his feet when he's running through the Speed Force too. It's like that's cool.
Yep. So cool.
It's cool to see the
we should see this movie, guys.
I can't wait to see it, Britt.
But I just like that they're showing this, to where you're seeing the power that he has instead of like, well, I can't do what Superman does with speed or strength, and I'll just be like a fraction of one of his powers, and like see if we can race at the end. Like, I don't know, they just watered down the character so much.
The comic you texted earlier,
to Rebirth, awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah. Basically, it's for those watching is well, Chris, you explain it. You know,
the Rebirth series from a few years ago. It's like Barry kind of comes back. He had been dead for quite a while, and it was almost like it's been a while since I've read it, but a speed type of thing where he just had to keep on going, had to keep running, or there was, disastrous consequences, and he almost wanted to like remove himself from reality again. So he's going through all this drama of all these people are trying to talk to him. The speedsters are all trying to keep up, and he just keeps going. And then all of a sudden you see like the red and blue kind of show up, and Superman is, right behind him. He's like, "Hey, Barry," and they're having like a very casual conversation as they're just like tearing through cities and up buildings and through everything. And Barry's like, I have to keep going. Thanks anyway, Clark. And he's like, "Barry, I mean, you're not going to go anywhere. Like, we've raced before. Even some of those races I've won because they've done a lot of races throughout the comics in the years." And Barry just kind of gives him like, "Those are for charity, Clark," and just like, boom, just gone. And like, you just see Superman like just like in the dust. It's just such a cool moment, especially as a Flash fan.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else on Flash? Anything else you guys want
to say? Voiceover? Who is I think it's Barry. Somebody's yelling Barry. I'm wondering if anybody has any thought
I would assume Victor, but let's play it.
I want you to listen to me, Barry, because I mean this.
I'm putting together a team, people with special abilities.
You can be whatever you want to be. I can't sit here and watch you run in place.
Go after him faster than you've ever attempted.
Almost sounded like Clark to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I get Victor vibes on that.
Best of the best. Make your own future, Make your own past.
Such an awesome quote.
It's all right now.
Could it also potentially be like his dad or something? A different scene?
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, I think that's, other than that, I think that's that's all I got.
Okay. Then so that's all we got so far. Now tomorrow, different story.
Who do
you guys?
We want to make a bet on tomorrow? Cyborg, Wonder Woman. Who you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say probably Cyborg, then Wonder Woman for the last, and then I wonder if they're gonna do a Steppenwolf or a Darkseid one.
I think they're gonna end on Cyborg.
Yeah.
They're dropping those NFTs on Tuesday, right?
Do what?
They're dropping the NFTs on Tuesday.
No. I think, when was that? Monday? Next Monday? I don't know.
So you got quite a few days if they just only do 2 more.
Yeah. There's also kind of people are wondering if this is a lead up to a final trailer too.
I feel like you'll probably get Wonder Woman next, though. I feel like if you waited to put her last, you're gonna have a lot of people like, "Why'd you do all the guys first?" So I feel like you'll probably get her tomorrow.
I think it's gonna be Cyborg because Zack has been very vocal about the fact that he's the heart of the movie,
So shouldn't it be last then?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I think Cyborg's gonna be last.
Okay.
So Wonder Woman tomorrow, and then Cyborg.
Okay, so I guess last little thing, Ryan, you mentioned this earlier, that there is a Snyder Cut exhibit going on in Dallas. A lot of this stuff kind of leaked. Somebody leaked a lot of images early, and they all got taken down. But the official Snyder Cut page put out some images.
You get your plane tickets yet, Brandon?
I'm not gonna lie. I briefly thought about like, how do I get there?
Yeah. So yeah, there's so much cool. Like, obviously, this is the Joker. I need another Joker shot that we haven't seen. Crown of Thorns, yeah. Superman soldiers.
In the nightmare sequence, yeah.
Some
they do have. There's, and you'll see in a second there. I think that's it. They've got Flash's nightmare suits.
Yeah, I don't know how far I can get into that. But
yeah, there's a shot of it online. Also, yeah, but it's
yeah,
basically
these were
what
the
he's
only
wearing when in BVS when he comes through.
It's too early
to Bruce. Yeah, correct.
Soon. Am I too soon?
Yeah,
I'm too soon. Yeah, Nightmare Mira with Aquaman's trident. Aquaman is dead in the Nightmare timeline.
Maybe this means having that Superman suit there. Maybe it means we'll get Anti-Life Superman. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, possibly, but this is also the suit that they use for the movie. So,
gotcha. Well, yeah, I guess it could be. It's got the plating in there. Yeah, I was thinking that was a BVS suit.
And then my favorite suit in the world. Your Batman suit.
It is pretty. Did you see? Do you have the Deathstroke one?
Well, I don't have it officially.
No, Brandon.
I don't have it officially. They got taken down. Do you have them? You can throw them up.
No, I don't. Yeah, they had Nightmare Deathstrokes suit and a.
If you keep talking, I might be able to find.
So they had. You remember
video
the shot of Joker that came out where he's like in that. It almost looked like a concrete shipping container style thing. Basically, there's a shot of Deathstroke in that same thing. But yeah, it's going to be awesome to see. Essentially, Britt, I don't know how familiar you are with how they're using those characters, but with the Nightmare sequence, Joker and Deathstroke and Joker team up with Batman.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't researched too much into it, to be honest.
Sure.
Now that a lot of it's dropping down, but I know that it was, I guess, back when they were first recording, you had a lot of stuff coming out with Deathstroke, and then just kind of didn't show up in the movie. So definitely excited to see what they do with all that.
All his badges, trophies.
Looks like that might have been a Rhino revolver. I think Harley Quinn might have used that in one of the movies. Suicide Squad, maybe.
Yep. So that one, yeah, that one looks definitely like Suicide Squad right there.
Yeah. Let's see.
Pretty cool.
Get back.
We'll just watch this on loop.
You want to see the Superman?
Oh, there's the Flash one down below there, Brandon. The next one.
Yeah. This is very like seems like it's kind of inspired by like almost like Nazi
yeah, for sure.
fatigues. Yeah.
Well, now this video is flagged, but thanks.
Yeah, no. I hesitated to say it.
Just wasted 3 hours.
It seems like it's inspired by the guy with the little short mustache.
Oh, the Amazon thing?
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, here's the Flash one.
Go,
This is a little miniature. I want to know what the straps are for.
Don't know. I honestly think that the cyborg thing, it's so simple, but it's so awesome. There's one of Cyborg. Basically, he just has like a brown
Yeah.
Almost like
We'll get to
Shazam
it.
length.
It's in here.
Okay.
It's in here.
All right. I won't spoil
There's the
it.
Deathstroke one.
No, no.
There you go.
It's Deathstroke one. There's baller. So cool.
Yep.
I assume Michael Wilkinson did all this stuff. He's so good at making costumes. Good on you, Michael.
I'm sure he's watching.
Yep. Sure he is too. Yeah. And this, I assume, is
it's just a one of the rebels.
Girl. Yeah.
So before it comes out, though, I want to get your opinions. Maybe not this stream, but another stream of what do you guys expect in the movie, and what would be something that you just really wish was in there, but you don't think it'll be in.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, we should do that.
Think through those. And, yeah.
We know, Brandon. We've seen this one.
Well, you haven't seen a video of it. Got some bullet holes. I hadn't noticed that until I watched this.
What? You didn't
there
notice
you go.
that?
Pause it right
That's
there.
in BVS.
Nope. I know. I never noticed it. Yeah, I want this. I just want this to walk around the house. It's interesting that they have all these on like mannequins with like no faces and things like that. And then when you get the cyborg one, they actually have,
yeah.
Well, because it's funny. It's interesting that they made an actual real, prop for this to put on display.
Mira.
Yeah. This one seems more in keeping, like her suit seems very accurate to the suit that we see her in the movie. So not a lot of change there, but she does have a few additions. And then obviously Arthur's trident.
The blades and stuff too. Yeah.
Pretty cool. And there's your boy.
Should be black. Someone color correct this.
Pull the saturation down a little bit.
Yeah.
And boobies. The yellow is a new addition, right?
The detailing on that suit is awesome. What's that?
Is the yellow a new addition for that suit? The yellow in the Superman? No. Okay. Here you go.
So cool. It's like it's so simple, but it's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, the actual cyborg costume or whatever you want to call it is different.
Well, yeah, he does look like he's made modifications to it with through the like,
and we know that he's got a different chest light in the mocap suit.
Yeah.
So
I just like the fact that he's got an organic cape on. I don't know. I just think it's cool.
Yep. It just looks cool. Like it doesn't seem very practical. Like why would he need it? But yeah, it just looks cool.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I think that's it.
On that one. Oh, the only other thing that I wanted to show before we go.
We got 3 minutes to clock in under 3 hours.
Is this guy.
Krypton, Bat of Gotham.
We got a new BVS coming out.
Ooh.
You guys pre-ordered your copies?
Yes, I did.
As did I.
I love it.
I'm stoked to see the aspect ratio change. He put up a shot of the nightmare sequence, the difference, and at one point, and it looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I love that everything's going to HBO Max.
I know.
Yeah, it's coming out the day, the 18th. And
Man,
so,
it's about to be content overload that day. We're getting the full 4-hour score that comes out or 4-hour plus score that comes out that day. BVS, new one, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Too
so
much to
good.
handle.
We're eating good, Ryan.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Britt,
Too true.
Brett, how you eating?
Good, man. So we got all that, and then you got Falcon Winter Soldier coming out the next day.
There you go. What a weekend.
Okay.
You guys got a lot of podcasts out of you.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Hal's gonna be like, guys.
All right, gents. Well,
this has been fun. I know it's been a
has.
deep dive, and I appreciate. For Ryan and I, it's like whatever. This is just normal. We do this, whether the cameras are on or not. This is what we do. So, I really appreciate Chris and Britt for coming on for 3 hours. I know that's a haul. Yeah. So,
yep,
I enjoyed having you guys on, especially for this.
No doubt. And we got to do. Inevitably, I'm sure we'll do Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff too coming up here. So. It'd be fun to break those bad boys down, break this guy down after it comes out too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I need to pick my
You can
character.
count on it.
Yeah, pick your character, Britt. That's your homework. Chris has to watch Apocalypse War, and Britt's got to pick a character.
Learn everything I can on that character.
That's right.
Become my new favorite.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think it's probably about time to sign off. We got 20 seconds until we hit 3 hours.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Gonna do it right at 3 hours perfectly. Okay.
Yep. Everybody who's watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on everything we're doing. And also follow us on Twitter at CAPECAST Show. We're talking about everything geek there all day long, every day. So look forward to chatting with you there. So,
well, we're over 3 hours now. You missed it.
That's all right. That's all right. we're just setting records tonight, guys. Setting records.
Good.
All right, guys. Until next time. So long.
See you guys.
See ya.